Shalom, everyone, and welcome back. I hope everyone's having a nice Thanksgiving. Some people ask me, is Thanksgiving a Jewish holiday or not? Well, it's an American holiday. It's not really a biblical holiday in the Jewish sense, but nevertheless, many Jews observe Thanksgiving. There's nothing wrong with it. In fact, the Rabbi spoke about it, about how Thanksgiving is something that is a Jewish value, to give hakaras hatov, to give gratitude, is a very Jewish quality. And on this day, we give gratitude to God, especially for all the goodness that He's given us, especially in this country. And we thank God for all the goodness that He gives the world in general by keeping us alive and keeping us healthy. And we pray that God should safeguard Israel and make it successful. And so far, it seems like it's doing well there as well, even with all the difficulties that it's facing. So we pray that in this day of Thanksgiving, that God should bless Israel in a great way. Talk about blessing Israel. In this week's Torah portion, we read about Jacob, our forefather is also called Yaakov Avinu, Jacob our father, who is leaving his hometown in Beersheba, and he's going off to Haran, leaving his parents and leaving his homeland there in Eretz Yisrael, the land of Israel, and fleeing from the wicked brother Esau. He was going to his uncle to visit his uncle and to stay with his uncle Lavan, and there he would meet his fortune and his future wives rather. And then the beginning of the parsha begins, V'yetze Yaakov mi Beersheba. Yaakov goes out from Beersheba, V'yelech Harana, and he goes to Haran, which was in Iraq. And there we know that he fell asleep suddenly. It was on the Temple Mount, and he saw in the dream a ladder with angels going up and down the ladder. And there are different opinions about what that imagery represents. And one of the opinions is that it represents the angels that protect us. The Message-Hashem'S. On Friday night we talk about Shalom Aleichem, Message-Hashem'S, Message-Elyon. We welcome the guardian angels that take care of us, the angels from on high. And the angel, he was about to leave Israel, and when we are in Israel, we have special angels that guard us and protect us while we're in Israel. And when we leave Israel, we have other types of angels that protect us and guard us there as well. And there are different types of angels depending on the circumstances and depending on what we need. Certainly, very often people who come from South Africa or Mexico, they come to live in California or live in the United States. They don't feel that it's so necessary to send your children to Jewish day schools to lead such an observant Jewish lifestyle. After all, in Mexico and in South Africa, they weren't so religious, they didn't go to synagogue so often, and they all married Jews and they all stayed Jewish. And they think that the same trick will happen here as well. But unfortunately it doesn't. In America you need special angels to take care of you that you didn't have back in South Africa. Here in America it's much more difficult to maintain a strong Jewish life, to make sure that our children will marry within the faith. It's much more difficult, and therefore we need an extra protection here as well. And the same thing is true, of course, in Israel. In Israel, we have very, very special angels that protect us there, watch over us, and guide us there. And perhaps it's those angels that give Israel its very special protection and its special blessings, that it's successful in all of the conflicts that it's waged. And it continues to do so, and it is doing so successfully economically, and with Jewish life is flourishing in Israel. We know that's true. And how is that possible? Because perhaps they have very special angels that are protecting Israel and watching over Israel. And we know that those angels are there right now, watching over our soldiers and protecting our soldiers and protecting the people who live in Israel, that they should be safe and happy and secure more than anything else. And I was talking to someone recently. I was saying, that the word in Hebrew for peace is shalom. And we pray for shalom all over the place. Also, shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom, God who watches over and should protect us with peace, and peace this and peace that. And we ask for God for peace all over the place. And I think perhaps what we should be asking God more for peace is for security. That's what we really need, is security. And if there's security, for sure there is peace. Absolutely. So we pray to God that Israel should be secure, that Israel should not have to worry about any more missiles or any more terrorists, and God should watch over Israel. As we say, Israel, as the Torah says, Israel is a land that God watches over from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. Eretz asher ein elokecha ba, the land that God's eye is upon it, Miresh Hashana bi'arach Rishana, from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. And we know that is certainly true. So God willing, we should see a good week, and we should see Israel being victorious and successful. We should see all of the hostages, all of them, not just 50 of them, but all of them returned back to their families and their loved ones, and it should happen immediately without sacrificing any Hamas terrorists that are currently in jail. It should not have to come to that, but the hostages should be found safe and secure. Candlelighting in San Diego is at 7:26. We want to wish you all a good Shabbos.